DraftSociety.com presents a Premier League Draft Fantasy Podcast. Welcome to the Key Pass Collective. Your exclusive source for the information, analysis, and advice you need to dominate your fantasy leagues. Come on in. We've been expecting you.
What's up, draft heads? How is everybody doing? Welcome back to the KPC. We're back. It's been a bit of a hiatus, but here we are. So happy to see everybody. Got some folks in chat. Old Scruffy, Mr. Nauru, what's going on? We're back and we're live. So anybody who is just joining us, maybe for the first time after the new year, we do live streams. Usually, we do live streams on Wednesday nights. And usually about this time, 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in the United States. We were off for a couple of weeks, obviously, and kind of doing the holiday thing and traveling and all that good stuff. But we're back. Peltier, Gary Haas, welcome, man. That's a name I don't recognize. Welcome in. Hey, everybody, say hey in chat. And obviously, throw your questions in there, throw your comments in there, and we'll pop them up on screen. And if we can get to them, if we got time to get to them, then we'll say hey to everybody. Draft Espresso, what's going on? Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. Okay, we're back for the new year, and of course, what that means is that we are in the thick of it now. We're in the thick of not only the season, but the transfer window is open. So we're going to talk about all of that good stuff today. First of all, let me just remind everybody that, of course, we here at the Key Pass Collective are the audio companion to the Draft Society website. Draft Society is going to be where you want to go to get all of your draft needs. So to succeed in this draft fantasy football game, that's where you want to head, is Draft Society. You've got everything you need there. So check it out. Everything you see on screen, 75 consensus ranks, weekly waiver wire articles, Sleepers 11, Ghost Point Hunters, draft statistics, projected lineups, all of that is free every single week. We do have an inner circle as well that you can join. Currently 50% off if you use the code CYBERDRAFT, by the way. But and that has nothing to do with Cybertrucks. I promise it won't blow up if you type that into your computer. Anyway, so check that out if you are interested, and the inner circle will get you a whole bunch more benefits, like a ton more. So rest of season player rankings, points projections for players every single week, confidential trade advice, which is a really cool one that's interesting, and then a lot of stuff that's actually included in our fantasy toolkit as well. If you get the season pass, which is bespoke to your league and bespoke to your Fantrax ID, it'll give you pickups specified to your league and the players that are available in your league. It'll give you everything that you possibly could need. So check it out. And if you want more information on it, hit us up. Or even if you're interested and you wanted to kind of see some screenshots or even maybe get like a little bit of a free trial, hit us up. We'll be happy to give you a little taste of it. So today on the show, we're going to talk January transfers. Spoiler alert, there's not many of them yet. But we're going to talk about them. Then we're going to talk about some potential stashes that you could grab off the waiver wire right now in hopes of some January moves. And then our biggest risers and fallers. Now that we're kind of midway through the season, we're going to talk risers and fallers, and we'll end it, as always, with some Game Week 21 streamers. All right, let's bring in some really wonderful, wonderful gentlemen to talk about some fantasy football. Totti, Ryan, Sanjy, how is everybody after the new year? How the hell are you guys?
Cold.
Yeah, I am too, man. It's really cold here.
Yeah,
we just survived a snowstorm.
Yep.
I mean, they say it snowed in London, but I don't see any snow.
There's a heat wave in Hungary. It's like 17 degrees.
Damn. That's crazy for January.
Yeah.
You hitting up the baths or what?
I've just
Wait,
shown.
weren't you supposed to have your speedo thing? For the
Yeah,
prelims?
I did. I'm waiting for the
Send those
actual
negatives?
finished product. Yeah, they were at our place in mid-December, end of December. Yeah, we closed down for 2 days. We had all
Hell
the
yeah.
current Ryan Phelpses.
You
Did you get a check?
Michael Phelps?
Michael Phelps and Ryan
That's
Lochte.
okay. So it's a hybrid. It's a hybrid Phelps Lochte. Okay.
That's how good these guys were.
Right. Imagine their skills but put together. It's sort of
build.
like a Captain Planet or what's Voltron
Captain
type
Plunder.
of thing.
They would be amazing at beating up random people.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, totally. Love that. Nice. Anything else of note happen over the holidays?
Went to India after 8 years.
Amazing. How was that?
Very hot, lots of mosquitoes. Met a lot of people that I knew, people I didn't know, and got harassed daily about not being married yet. So it was a great time.
Lovely.
Oh
Why
man.
did you just say that you were married?
Yeah, but then they're gonna expect
hassle.
to see like a wedding album, and yeah, it'll get
Why
messy.
they weren't invited and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah,
I guess.
You know, it's really bad when the guy that's tending the garden starts asking you why you're not married.
That's amazing.
Somebody married to
I
the
love
game.
that. Yeah. Exactly. You should have just told him, yeah, I'm married to the draft fantasy football game. Yeah. No.
What was the best food that you ate?
What wasn't the best food? Honestly.
Exactly.
I like it, it's kind of weird. I thought I would have put on weight, but I felt like I lost weight because I wasn't eating processed food at all. Like everything
Oh,
was just
sure.
natural.
Yeah.
Home cooked, homegrown food. Like, yeah. I will say though, by the end of my trip, I was a little sick of the sight of curry. So like my last
Sure.
meal leaving India was a deep fried chicken sandwich. So, yeah.
I know the feeling when we were coming home from our honeymoon from India. My wife was desperate for a non-curry flavored anything.
Yeah.
On the way back, and we had a layover in the New Delhi airport, and we literally walked our feet off to find something that was not curry flavored, and we found a McDonald's, and all of the stuff had curry in it. Like we asked for a
Big
cheeseburger,
Mac.
and it had like curried ketchup or whatever on it, and it was like finally a cheeseburger, and she said like, with curry. I loved it.
Yeah. You deserve a deep fried chicken sandwich. Old Scruffy in chat's talking about how good it sounds. It does sound great.
Yeah.
But also like curry's one of those dishes. I can see getting sick of it, but it's one of those dishes that after a while, and I haven't had curry, a good curry, like I will kill for a good
crave it,
Indian
yeah.
curry. Yeah.
How was your break, guys?
Mine was nothing. as evidenced by the fact that I recorded a podcast on Christmas Day.
Yeah, a short
Yeah,
a short
sacrilegious.
15 minutes.
Just a short 50-minute one, yeah.
Just for JC.
Right. Yeah,
Mine
no,
good.
it was fine.
It's
You
been
got-
in Florida.
Yeah, you guys were in the. What did you playfully call Florida the other time when Genie was there?
The devil's asshole?
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
No, I don't know. I just made that up on the spot, but
think it
it
was
seems
something like
appropriate.
Sounds
Yeah.
applicable somehow. No, it was
With the actual anus being Disney, Walt Disney.
Disney was, yeah. I know we give Genie a grief, being a Disney adult, but it was fun. It was with some nieces and nephews and stuff. But yeah, I did Miami with the in-laws and my family as well, which was nice to get them together. Yeah, it was good. And then we came back to a snowstorm.
Exactly.
So, good stuff. Yin yang.
Yeah, that's fair. All right. Well, good catching up, lads. Love you guys. Let's talk some fantasy. Okay. So first things first, we're going to talk transfers. Oh, what happened to this slide?
My word.
All right.
Did Genie get into it?
Dude, in the regular deck, it looks
fine. Yeah.
Wonder
This
what
is
happened.
Genie's revenge for talking shit about Walt Disney World. Anyway, all right, I'll talk us through it. So we're going to talk new transfers. Most of these are speculative at the moment because really not a whole lot has been confirmed. So first things first, in terms of new transfers in inverted commas, we got to talk about the new transfer in at West Ham, which is the coach, the manager, Graham Potter. Adios, ding dong, the witch is dead. Goodbye, Julian Lopetegui. In comes Graham Potter. So, guys, are we excited? What do we expect?
I think we talked about it previously, but Lopetegui, for his many faults, was a godsend for Jared
One
Bowen.
person. Yeah.
And that's the only West Ham asset I have. So I poured one out for Lopes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was trying to just like harken back to the Potter era, and I just remember
Right.
a ton of rotation, unpredictability. Really, Pascal Gross and McAllister in his day were the only like nailed on guys. It's very similar to, I think, the current Brighton setup, in which you have all of these players that are talented, but you can't really figure out who's going to nail down a spot, and the points
Yeah.
are, widely dispersed. So he's got a talented squad to work with, but I don't know, and it's going to take a while to implement the system. So as long as my boy Bowen gets his.
Yeah, I mean, eventually.
But I'm not crazy excited about it.
Was that 22-23?
No,
at Brighton.
Chelsea. He was at 22-23 was Chelsea.
Oh, it was. So
2019 to 2022 is the Brighton era.
Got it. Okay, and his big year would have been the 2020-2021.
Yeah, the one previously to
The COVID year.
Yeah, when Chelsea poached him.
Okay, so 2020, 2021. Let's see. He would have had Solly March, Lamptey, Welbeck,
McAllister, Gross.
Yeah. Interesting.
Caicedo was there too, right?
What's that?
Caicedo?
Caicedo, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Cucurella.
He's me.
I mean, yeah, like these guys all. I mean, generally, these guys were all everyone we've mentioned so far.
Trossard, Gross.
Like eight and a half or more fantasy points per game in that 2020-2021 season.
Is there any small hope or chance that he's a changed man given his small break away from the game?
In what way?
I don't know. Maybe he reflected on life, realized how frustrating some of his football can be. I don't know. Sometimes stepping away from the game can give you a different perspective on how to run things. So
I think you're bitter because of the Chelsea half year.
Me never. What?
No, I think I seem to remember that I liked how they played and what they did. So
Yeah, football, just general football would be better.
Oh, first, absolutely.
Nowhere to go but up, of course. But fantasy-wise, I just, I don't know. I'm not speculatively adding anyone.
there isn't much rotation to be had. Like at Brighton, he would have had a squad of similarly talented players and a decently sized squad, and also he was tasked with actually playing the youngsters and these new guys
Yeah.
to get their price up, which he did extremely well.
Yeah.
But I don't think that will be the case at West Ham. Also, like there is, other than the defensive midfield, there is a clear sort of best 11, if even if it's not like 11, but a best sort of way to set up. I think there isn't much. Like if you look at the attack,
What's his-
and we are more inclined to have a look at the attack. Is there any other players other than Kudus, Paqueta, Somerville, and Fulkrug who they can play? Right now, right now.
You could throw Soler up there. Obviously, Bowen when he gets back. I don't know if he messes with Ings, but if he likes to be weird. I'd love to see Cresswell reborn, but I know that's a lost cause.
Yeah, I think.
Remind me his formation: 4-2-3-1.
It was.
Doesn't he run wingbacks sometimes too?
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
so.
it
I
was a
think
bit
it
of
was
both.
a bit of both. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just trying to.
I mean, he
figure
doesn't
out
really
what's
have wingbacks though, does he? At West Ham,
I think
Wan-Bissaka's
Emerson-
certainly not a wingback.
I think Emerson is decent as an attacking.
Emerson, okay, yeah, I could see that.
And Wan-Bissaka has been playing.
Sufal potentially.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
I think it lends itself to a 4-2-3-1 kind of.
This
squad
this
itself.
roster construction
Yeah.
does, yeah.
We shit on Paqueta a lot, guys. I wonder if he's going to be a beneficiary.
I would love to see him
Could
in
be.
the. If we are making these totally unfounded and sort of non-relevant and
How dare you? This is a science.
not at all scientific comparisons, that I'd love to see him in the Pascal Gross ilk.
Oh,
I think
as a wingback?
No, I think Pascal Gross is primarily a deep line playmaker, if I'm not mistaken.
He played every position possible.
Yeah,
in
yeah.
Water, I
No, he
remember.
only played wingback when March was injured, which was a lot.
Yeah. So most of his starts were wingback.
Right. But no, yeah, I know what you mean, Totti. I think that I would like to see that too, honestly.
I like the added chaos that he's come in during the January transfer window as well. I'm just
Yeah.
wondering
Yeah.
whether or not they do something crazy like recall James Ward-Prowse. Does he maybe utilize him? Because he's not doing anything at Forest, so.
He has time on his hands.
Yeah, I mean, he could be the. If there's a Pascal Gross, not even regen, Gen, JWP, pre-gen.
Pre-gen, yeah.
Is there anybody? I mean, because most of these guys, let's be honest, right? Like you said, Totti, we know the guys on this team who are probably going to get starts. Is there anybody who's not highly rostered that you would be grabbing?
No.
Like a Soler or
I don't know if it's a reflection of the Lopetegui system or lack thereof, but he hasn't ghosted well at all. So I don't know if I'd have to see some data. But in the peak season of speculative ads, he's not high on my list.
Yeah, I think the attackers mainly. So if you see Paqueta, he's been dropped a few times. I picked him up in 2 leagues. Not recently, but like 3 or 4 weeks ago.
Yeah, 87% rostered.
What about Somerville?
I got Somerville last week.
Yeah, he was below 40 when at the beginning of the week when I did my waivers article, and he was there.
Yeah,
He's 28% right now.
28?
Yeah,
wow.
I think he's worth an ad, definitely.
Oh, and after Bowen went down, I assumed everybody would add him.
Yeah,
he did in my league.
Wow. I think I even spent fab on him, like 2 or 3.
Yeah. And
looking like a good
11.5 against City.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't start him, of course, but and so Ryan, you're adding Danny Ings, you said.
Incorrect. Added.
Okay.
Already
That's
did.
good.
Not
Got
taking,
it, got it,
not
got it.
taking any chances.
Let's go to the tape.
Interestingly enough, Fantrax has Soufal already tapped to start.
And scoring
Right.
20 points this week, I'm assuming.
Yeah,
Based
well,
on
I
their
mean, I never look at the
projections.
projections, but I'm sure, yeah. Yeah, you're probably right. Actually, let's see. Projected per game. What's he at? Soufal. Oh, just a cool 10.2.
Nice.
Just yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah, it's
Just
average.
a cool 10. Yep. Interesting. All right. Well, yeah, I mean,
Early days.
I wouldn't mind if you could get Kudus in for a decent deal. I wouldn't mind doing that if you could get, some of those players in for.
Yeah, I don't think anyone is trading out attacking assets right now before they see what Potter does.
Yeah, that's fair.
Ferguson made his debut under Potter, right? The early.
Yeah.
I wonder if they go for him, because something tells me that Potter doesn't like the cut of Fulkrug's jib.
Interesting.
Maybe he could go for Dewsbury Hall as well.
Yeah, Fox's Army was mentioning that. Does KDH even fit in at West Ham?
I think so. I mean, him and Paqueta would, could play.
Yeah, pretty similar kind of. I remember KDH played well in the 4-3-3 on the left side of the 4-3-3 with Ndidi and Madison on the other side, I think, for Leicester when he first came in. So if they have someone at DM who they trust to do a role in a single pivot, then
Alvarez could do it.
Yeah.
But then you leave out Souček. But again, I don't know if he's a Potter guy either.
I mean, Souček has been left out, and he's always creeping back in under the door. So I think we have written him off several times.
If he was going to get frozen out, a system like Potter's would probably be the one to do it.
Yeah, there's not much place for big old ambling boys. Like, for muscle boy hosses in Potter's system. Right? Like, I mean, think back, like, he hasn't really had any muscle boy hosses in his teams.
Loose Dunk maybe fits the system.
Yeah, but I mean, as a center back, sure, but like, yeah. I mean, Souček could honestly play center back, but
yeah.
Okay. Anyway, let's move on. All right. The second name we want to talk about is one. What's his first name? Kinski?
Yes.
Antonin?
Adam?
Adam
Kingsley.
Adam Kingsley.
Adam Kingsley. Yes. So yes, Mr. Kinski, who, if you talk to Spurs fans right now after this afternoon's game, will tell you is the second coming of Gianluigi Buffon.
The Spurs guy in my home league chat just said that he now thinks that Vicario may not even come back at all.
It's ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
Yeah,
I mean, he looked decent
6
tonight,
weeks
though.
in.
He wasn't challenged at all. Let's be honest.
I mean, given what we've seen from the other Spurs goalkeepers, he was.
I
amazing.
agree. I completely agree.
Yeah.
Yes, that I will give you.
The dude against Newcastle was decent. He was.
Yeah.
He faced the
Who's that?
most
Austin.
informed. Yeah. He faced the most informed attack of the Premier League, but he was decent.
All right.
He was better
So
than Foster.
Didn't face Darwin.
True.
Those tricky shots right at him.
I mean, every shot was right at him today. Like, it really was. But it's fine. It's fine. I'm not here to disparage the man. He had a nice game. The boy. Isn't he super young, right? No, he's like 24. Never mind. He's a man. That's a man.
Adam the man Kingsley.
Adam the man Kingsman. Anyway, we're here to talk fantasy. They have Arsenal, and then they have Everton, Leicester, Brentford, Manchester United, Ipswich. Are you interested in adding him anywhere?
No, but I do like Spurs assets for that run after Arsenal.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that having not conceded or not let Liverpool get close is an anomaly. Whoever plays for Spurs, like, I don't associate that with poor Archie Gray and Radu Dragusin. Even if Van de Ven and Romero are back, they will let shots come in. So I'm actually, other than Arsenal, who either don't shoot or score a ton, I don't mind him in any league that I'm streaming goalkeepers.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Not against Arsenal.
He'll make saves.
Why not against Arsenal though? Then Arsenal's attack has kind of gotten a bit waste without Saka.
Yeah, but
you don't think we're going to score at home against Spurs?
That's what I mean. They're going to score, but they're not going to have 20 shots. Based on last few weeks.
20 shots, they just won't be on target.
Yeah. That's what I mean.
I mean, if Kai has anything to do with it.
Can shoot our asses off. Rosette.
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, I think, okay, that's fine. We can leave it there.
I think over other streaming goalkeepers at the moment. Like, I wouldn't take him over like a Kepa or.
I think it's matchup dependent.
I wouldn't mind him over Kappa or similarly Punty.
Well, Travers for this game week, right? Because Kepa's parent club tied or whatever with Chelsea. So.
General, that level of streaming goalkeeper, I would say.
What I would do is go to the fantasy toolkit and I would look at our fixture difficulty tracker and I would sort by goalkeeper difficulty and see who's got the best matchups coming up is what I would do.
Nerd.
All right. So then the next name on our list that doesn't make any sense if I put it on the screen because something happened is Ryan, you're the resident Wolves expert. How do I say this? Agbadu, I
believe, yeah.
Emmanuel Agbadu, who is he is a muscle boy hoss.
Yeah.
Center back.
Good segue.
Center back coming to Wolves, and they paid a decent penny for him. I'm actually kind of excited about this one.
They've been tracking this dude for a long time. Other than that Kevin Danzo guy, they've been linked with those two for years. And obviously they desperately need a center half with the injuries they've had. They can't roll out CMFD anymore. So they desperately needed one, and Totti went down as well. So this was always kind of on the cards, even though Wolves under the Shi regime don't spend much money at all, but their hand was forced, especially with the relegation struggles. So good signing, very much needed. I don't know much about his fantasy prospects. I will say that the upcoming fixture run is really difficult, so
it's bad.
Wouldn't be looking to stream any Wolves defenders for quite a while. But I'm excited in real life for him, and also to kind of monitor his progress, because at the same time the fixtures suck, but they will be active. So if he can ghost, I'll be keeping an eye on it.
That's actually fair. We'll get a good look at him before anybody's really interested in adding him, which is nice.
Yeah, we'll see the ghost potential.
Love that. Okay, good on that one.
Yeah.
Sweet. All right. now we're into rumors. Now we're into rumor territory. Slash, some of them are a little bit more substantiated, but
sorry, before we move on, we have two that are confirmed. I don't think they are on the docket.
we should. Yeah, the chat was talking about those. We should mention those. Are you talking about one, Jaden Philogene?
Yeah, one is that. Yeah.
2, Ipswich. How do we
To
feel about that?
Ipswich.
Ooh, I thought he was going to Everton. Interesting.
Yeah. He was supposed to go to Everton yesterday, but then Ipswich got the here we go.
I kind of like it.
It's still going to be only a streamer, though.
Yeah,
Forward
so
3, maybe.
Ipswich,
Yeah.
Smotage plus maybe
Yeah.
half point.
Yeah, I don't think
Smotage
he'll
plus
go
half
slow.
point. So 2.5.
Yes.
Yes.
Got it.
9.5 was the goal.
Yeah.
Oh God, no one can be as bad as Smotage.
Well, let's see.
It's just, it's pretty bad. Maybe I guess you could be Omari Hutchinson. Anyway,
There's
yeah, okay.
not much ghost potential there. And the other
Okay.
one who I think deserves even less word is the left back at Bournemouth, Julio Soler.
Oh yeah.
I think he's definitely coming as a backup, but the off chance that Miloš gets his move in January, then he'll get some minutes.
Okay. Good one to keep an eye on.
Yeah.
When you mean when Miloš comes to Liverpool?
Yeah, we need him.
Okay.
We came into the season saying all these rumors are shit because we have 2 great left backs, and now we need
We
him.
have 0.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we only have 1 great right back too, so that's
Connor Bradley?
yes. Exactly. Anyway, I'm not here to start fights. All right. All right. Rumors abound around one Daniel Malen to potentially Aston Villa. How would you guys feel about that?
I would go all out on my fab for Daniel Malen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think there's like Omar Marmouche, who we will talk about
Yeah.
a minute from now, would be the only one currently rumored.
A minute. You're giving us far too much credit. We're way more verbose than that.
Yeah. But
20 minutes on
Marlon
Suchek.
is a stud, yeah.
Is he though?
He has 3
He's a
goals
big-
in 13 matches this season.
He's a big game player. I think he's gonna be Diaby when he was good.
Mm.
Those 3 weeks were pretty spectacular.
Those were great weeks, weren't they?
Those were heady days. Yeah, nearly a month.
It's quite the purple patch. I love it. I don't know, man.
I'm a bit more
yeah.
skeptical. Emery's system, man, it just doesn't lend itself to a lot of points, especially like, I mean, Bailey, Ramsey, like those type of numbers, like. Yeah, but it depends on the rest of the window. Obviously, everything's relative.
Yeah, but anyways, I like him, and I think he will be. If he goes, then he's definitely a starter at Villa.
I wonder if he'll be a mid or a forward. He's a tweener.
I
He
assume
is
a forward.
yeah.
Because isn't he like? I think he's a forward in like a World Cup for Netherlands and stuff like that, like other fantasy games. So
I have no idea.
I think he has a bigger chance of going forward in fan tracks. So it would be good if he was a mid.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. The numbers just don't. I don't know. They don't.
Jump off the page.
I'm whelmed. I'm whelmed.
Well,
Yeah.
we'll get Draft Lad to start his transfers spreadsheet if he hasn't done it already. and we'll see his ghost.
Have you looked at the European numbers?
I have
No.
not yet, but
What the hell do we have these stats for then?
he's the nerd. He's the one who always looks at
Yeah,
the
Joe
stats.
should know.
Yeah.
I mean, I just have his Google page in front of me. says he was an early investor in Bitcoin.
Who, Daniel
Yeah.
Malen?
Smart
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah,
I just made that up. It's not real. That's not real. I'm sorry.
he bought Bitcoin for $1 when it first came out.
Why is he still playing? He must be a billionaire. Okay. I mean, anything else on this guy? Totti loves him. Ryan and I are undecided. Sanjy?
I'm just gonna hope that it sparks a fire under Bailey's ass, and maybe Bailey starts performing like a option that we could potentially roster.
Mm.
He's been pretty
Yeah,
good the last
Dutch
2 weeks.
Cowboy said Mullen can't go to Villa because then I'd have to drop Bailey, and I responded by saying I'm surprised he still had Bailey. But
Got a little mini renaissance.
Yeah,
yeah, but
I mean,
he was
easy
against. But he
fixtures
was
though,
against
right?
me, Ryan.
Well, both weeks?
No, just this last week.
All right, well. There's hope.
Fair enough. All right, up next is the aforementioned. Sorry, lost my tab. Okay, Omar Marmoush, potentially. Actually, I mean, things are fairly concrete at this point. Heading to Manchester City. I'm very curious to hear you guys' take on this. Where the fuck does he play? He's a striker.
Yeah. Back up to Holland / maybe on the wings if need be.
He's rarely played wing, like very rarely, and when he has, it's been like left mid.
I think he's more of a number 10 rather than a number 9, though.
I mean, he's
So-
definitely classed as a striker, and if you look up the positions that he's played, the majority of, not just this year, but I mean the previous few years, it's been center striker.
I
Could
got
this
Mullins
potentially be like
2021-22 numbers, by the way. Very
Oh,
indicative.
okay, share.
Okay, 21-22. He's a forward. 38% goal dependency. Hold on. Let me just, man, why don't they freeze these? So I got to scroll all the way up to see what exactly these numbers are. Carry on. I'll be a few minutes.
I was wondering, could Marmoush possibly be like a Julian Alvarez sort of play if he's playing through the middle?
Yeah, that's what I think he would.
Okay.
He is one of the most exciting talents in the Bundesliga right now. All of my Bundesliga podcasts rave about him every week. So I think he could go sort of a hybrid midfielder, attacker, 10, sort of pushing up from midfield, just like Sanjy said, like Alvarez did. He's the one that's rumored, and I would get ahead of Malen. I have the numbers though. If you don't, for Malen.
I got
Oh
it.
yeah. Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
11
Yes.
PP 90, 7 goes per
Goes.
90, basically. 38% attacking return dependent. So, meh. Not bad, but
Not terrible.
38% is not
Bundesliga
bad.
attacks.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay. I'm looking at an article here about the various positions that he plays or has played. It says Marmoush is also capable of playing in wide areas, most commonly as a left winger for club and country. He recorded the 7th most 1v1s in dribbles. This shows his willingness to face up to defenders, technical capabilities to progress.
He's a big
Interesting.
shooter. High shot volume. 4.38 shots per 90.
Yeah, 11.
Big shooter. Nice. That's like a
Yeah,
nickname for a
shooter.
Midwestern dude. Yeah.
11.7 points per game in 21-22 with 9.1 ghosts for Umar Marmoush.
If only, yeah, no, that's true. And like he's coming into a left wing that has no competition whatsoever, so that's going to be good. And also a central striking role that has no competition whatsoever. Certainly not the best center forward in the entire world. So
I mean, none of those guys that you flippantly disregard have been good at all. So
okay, Holland's never going to lose his spot. Holland could take a dump on the field and he would start the next match.
Yes, most of the season.
No, but Julian Alvarez did enough next to Haaland to command the 80 million transfer fee.
Yeah,
after
you're right.
One season.
That's true.
So,
yeah.
I mean, KDB wasn't playing, which they might be better off doing this season.
I mean, yeah. I mean, Grealish is shit at this point. Doku does dribbles. Triple D.
He still hasn't. I don't think I checked a few weeks ago, and he still hasn't overtaken Fatawu for dribbles.
Wow.
And Fatawu has been injured for like 3 months.
That's pretty bad, honestly.
Man, it's a shame with Grealish though. Like I thought at one point, Pep kind of redefined his role in that City team, and then that was like the one game or something. It was something that like I think Grealish had done for England or whatnot, playing a bit more central, helping with like the transition and stuff like that. But yeah, Grealish might be a dead story, like Scruffy's saying.
I mean, could we see Grealish move somewhere?
I was wondering that.
They would still be able to make money off him.
For sure.
Maybe Chelsea could take him.
We don't have Grealish in our stashes. Is that because he's pretty highly rostered?
I think he's highly rostered.
Because he sucks.
He sucks, and also he would cost a pretty penny to anyone.
Ryan, the way you used to talk about this player,
dude,
yes.
I can't even.
One of my favorite players in the league, especially top player to watch outside of like Pico Dama. He was majestic. He was like Cunha before Cunha. He just did everything. And it's an absolute shame. It really is.
Yeah, it really is.
Yep.
But yeah, I can't believe he hasn't been dropped more. He finally got dropped in one of my leagues. Good on him. I don't think he's been picked back up either.
So Gary Haas is saying summer move. Is that what you guys are saying as well? Like you wouldn't add him if he was out there?
Yeah, I don't think he.
Grealish?
Yeah.
No.
I don't think he gets a January move. Like I wouldn't think of any team that would make 50, 60 million plus investment in January and would spend that on Grealish.
Yeah.
And City have no incentive to get rid of him. I mean, if they have another injury crisis, they could have him lined up. Like they don't need the money. They're not going to, farm.
Yeah, and also they have. I think they're in decent shape for PSR as well. If that means anything now. I think it will be, and let's not open this back up because we and everyone else has talked about this ad nauseum. But I think it will be pretty damning and a good indication of where the verdict is going if they don't sign anyone. I think that would indicate that they or the agents or whoever does their signings have a decent inkling of them being pretty much relegated or something like that. Which I still wouldn't think happens, but if they're in such a situation as they are now. They have infinite money. They have PSR space, and they have a ton of spots that they need help with, like defenders and center midfielders and some sort of attacking talent as well. And they end up signing no one in January. I think that would be pretty damning.
Yeah. I mean, Marmoush looks pretty close. So
What's crazy is though is like City's not signing the spot that they actually need to fix. Like they really don't need a player like Marmoush.
no.
Yeah.
No, like Ryan said, what they actually need is the next player we're going to talk about, which is David Luiz.
Douglas Luiz.
Douglas.
Sorry,
Luiz, yeah.
Douglas with David Luiz.
I would love
Hell
David
yeah.
Luiz.
Dude,
No,
if
but
they signed
they
David
do.
Luiz.
But they do,
Luiz could play
honestly.
DM.
He could play CDM. Yeah.
For sure he could. Absolutely.
It's an uncritical
Anyway,
claim.
sorry, Dougie Lou of this podcast fame. Yeah, Forest, Fulham, Tottenham apparently in the race to sign our old buddy.
If he replaced Andreas at Fulham, he would be quite a baller. On sets in a great attacking system, that would be the dream. I think Forest wouldn't be too bad either, but like Fulham would be the dream.
Is Andreas even starting these days?
He did in the last game, but he was previously. There's been rumors of him leaving this window. So if they brought in Dougie Lou, it would certainly be to replace Pereira. You would think.
Yeah.
Oh,
that would be my top. That would be my top target if that came to.
That would be sexy.
Issue is,
I agree.
And I have not done enough research on this, admittedly, but the issue is with Dougie Lou is that he went to Juventus on a double deal, didn't he?
With
his girlfriend. Did they break up, or?
We're here to talk the important things.
Yeah.
I'd like to think he wouldn't base his whole career on a breakup, but they always pine away for these moves to Juve, and they never work out. Like Aaron Ramsey at Juve, come on,
son.
Yeah, it's sad. Burn your bridges and then you're coming back.
Is this Alicia Lehman?
Yeah. That's her.
Yeah, man.
Now we've lost Joe. We've lost Joe.
See it.
Sorry.
Joe, you can turn off the screen for 20 minutes now.
No, I'm just going to open an incognito window. That's fine.
She's worth the incognito window.
Yeah, absolutely worth it. Good for him. Anyway, no, apparently they're still together.
Dougie Lou would be good anywhere where he plays if he starts.
Yeah, I agree. I'm getting congratulated in the chat for my foray into my incognito window. Yeah. Anyway, okay, sweet. So Dougie Lou, we like him. How about Gahey to Chelsea? Back to Chelsea.
Can you do the sound?
Yeah, I don't know if that's like a desperate pickup thing. I still think like, I mean, Ryan probably knows this from like the Ghost Point stuff, but Colwell I think is soaking up most of the defensive actions in that back line. So I mean, it's not like Gahey is scoring points at Palace either. He's not the top. I think he would probably be the worst defensive option out of the back five for points. So I don't see anything changing in that regard.
Yeah, and they haven't been like defensively sound. You're not getting clean sheet points from him.
Yeah, but they definitely need a defender because Maresca was very disappointed or negative on the chances of Fofana even playing this season, I think.
Right. Yeah, I heard about that.
And Badiashile is out in a few senses of the word, as in injured and not in the team, even if he's fit. So all the money they spent is now tied up in injured defenders and was it cow semen that Modric injected?
Oh, that's right.
It was something like that.
No comment.
Ryan's like, you should actually try it. It's great.
I mean, you don't know it, you can't afford it.
Right, right. Oh man, the right wingers would have something to say about the Hollywood elite, Ryan. Anyway, moving on. Yeah, no, I mean Chelsea has money tied up everywhere, Totti. I don't know what you're talking about. It's not just those things. This would be just exactly something that you would expect of them. But what you're saying is, fantasy-wise, you wouldn't be interested.
Yeah, just like Sanjy said, it's not like an alpha defender coming in to siphon all the points. It would probably help them in real life, as in to get more solid at the back if they did that. But I don't think I'm interested in this for fantasy. I haven't heard Gay. I've heard Chalobah was getting recalled, but that would be strange.
Bring them all back. Bring back Cho.
Bring them all back.
Pulisic.
Yeah. Ruben.
He's doing
The
really
gang.
well.
Yeah. I mean, everyone does well when they leave Chelsea, to be fair. So
Loftus-Cheek as well.
yeah.
That's his cheek.
Maybe
Yeah.
you can get Drinkwater out of retirement.
You need Ivanovic, really.
I've heard Rudiger's done okay.
Yeah, he's all right.
Yeah.
David Luiz, as you mentioned.
Right. David Luiz, of course.
We've lost go to Alicia Lehmann.
Well, okay.
Take over. Ryan, take over.
Yeah, just tag me in, man.
Okay, speaking of alpha defenders, there's apparently rumored one Abdulkadir Kusanov to Manchester City. Talking about beefy boys. This could be one.
What's his name again?
Abdulkadir. Yeah, right. He's Uzbek. He's Uzbek. He's Uzbeki. Uzbek. Uzbek. He's Uzbek.
Is he a center half?
He's a center half.
Okay, yeah, not interested.
No, I agree.
Unless he's like a decent right back, I'm not interested.
Look, I try to make these things interesting. Okay, I'm
No, I'm not faulting you.
I'm not
I'm just
interested.
giving you-
I'm not interested either.
Sounded
shooting
like
straight with you, man.
Like the love child of a Russian oligarch and an African princess or something like that.
Yeah.
Abdul
Would you be
Qadir-
interested, Ryan?
What? What's his name?
Ryan,
No, go ahead.
would
go
you
ahead.
be interested in Nuno Mendes potentially to Manchester United?
I'm contractually obligated to say no.
All right, how about the rest of you?
But I like Nuno Mendes.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to
Yeah,
touch
maybe.
anything Manchester United right now.
I don't think that has traction. Isn't he doing well? Is he the one that it's at PSG?
Yeah.
It's just signed there.
Yeah, there's all kinds of headlines. Again, these are the prospects. These are not the confirmed ones. We don't even need to spend long on them. But I would be interested if it happened.
If it happens, yeah.
Yeah.
Wing back in a five defender set.
Right.
Pretty good option. Safe. We've seen Ahmad do really well. and if you're classed as a defender and maybe even try to get some clean sheets, then good on you. If he comes in, or a similarly talented wingback comes in at United, then they'll be a top 10 drafted defender come August, I think.
I like that.
If Amorim stays until the end of the season.
All right, our final one is potentially, maybe even a loan move, but potentially one Evan Ferguson to join the ranks at Bournemouth.
Man,
I mean, they've just lost both of their strikers.
Right.
So I'd be interested because Evan Nilsson, we've seen what
Gets chances.
a non-ghost point scoring striker, how they can be decent for Bournemouth, and I think
Right.
with both Evan Nilsson and Dunal out long term, he would have guaranteed minutes. So yeah, I'd be interested.
And Evan Ferguson is definitely a non-ghost point scoring striker.
he's the messiah
If there ever
for
was one.
non-ghost point scoring. Yeah.
Yeah. Him
So
and
that
Sammy
guy-
Smodics sharing a pint.
They are Neil Mopai in disguise.
Right, exactly. Yeah, this is true. I would be interested only probably as a forward. I know you can't start 4 forwards.
Yeah, rotation forward in good matchups.
Exactly.
I think you're right.
Yeah, exactly. I would hope you have better options, but sure. Yeah, I don't know. All right. Well, that's all we got for potential transfers /
Just
rumors.
the hour. Just the hour.
Look at this slide. Okay. This slide similarly not great, but
Visually challenged.
but at least it's a little bit better.
I like that
So-
there's just like a James in the top right corner. Just James.
Is James coming back?
Maybe.
I mean, depends on the team. I'd be interested. Is
He's a
he
free
at this point?
agent.
Is he older than James Ward-Prowse, or are they the same age?
I have no idea. They should be the same age.
Yeah.
I love these. I love these when you have to, like, put things or like historical events that have no relation to each other into the correct chronological order based on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I love those. Like the birth date of James Ward-Prowse and James Rodriguez. I would struggle.
Oh, totally. Yeah. Okay. James Ward-Prowse has been playing professional football for longer than Bergvall it has been alive. True or false?
Oh god, hold on. So
False.
like it's late
False.
2000s. So like, yeah, it's false. Bergvall's what? 18, 19?
He's going to be turning 19. I think they said 4 days before the next match, like the next cup match.
Yeah, that's false.
False.
I think JWP is probably like 15 seasons.
Yeah, you're right.
Good. I like these.
Oh, and we have
Oh, my-
another answer.
Oh, no, my
JWP
guy.
is 30. Hamas is 33. Thanks, old Scruffy. All right. Anyway, guys, so we're here to talk stashes. Guys, you're potentially adding to your teams now in case of a tasty move coming up in January. So we have, first and foremost, Ben Doak. I'll be honest, Totti, I'll be sad to see him go if this happens. He has talked about wanting to move to a Premier League team as opposed to moving anywhere overseas or in sort of any like Scottish Premiership or anything like that. So he's talked a lot about wanting to stay in the Premier League. So this could be a decent, sneaky little ad right now because he wants to play. He wants some game time, which I don't blame him at all. And like I said, I'll be sad to see him go. Is this one you guys are actively pursuing to add him, or just sort of on the periphery?
Not many of these are actively pursuing. I think. Like if something turns out and it gets more concrete, I'll pick them up. But I feel similar to when I picked up Sterling at the end of the transfer window.
Complete and utter waste of time.
Yeah.
I like KDH as the most upside one. Well, I'll tell you why. Because one, I think he's got the best chance of leaving. They have not played him whatsoever. All the reports are saying that he's been told since December that he is, available on the market. He's a solid, proven fantasy asset. So all of those things combined, forces a speculative ad on my part. So I picked him up in a couple of leagues, and I think he's worth the investment as opposed to someone like Sterling. The Bradley one, I don't get as much. I mean, I understand, but I think that Trent one stays, and I just don't see a world in which Bradley gets consistent starts or early enough in which it, warrants the 3 to 4 to 5 game week investment burning a hole on your roster. So I think
is he even good in the Arne Slot system?
He's pretty good.
Oh, in the Arne Slot system, we're not really sure.
There's a little bit of data, but
yeah, I mean, he's got a couple of sub appearances.
It's tough to gauge because, obviously when he comes on as a sub, it's usually you're either protecting a lead or you're chasing. So it's not indicative of what he would do as a starter, basically. But, I mean, he's got, I guess, good upside.
Played 90 minutes against Southampton, negative 0.5.
Oh, yeah, people were hyped about that.
Played 64 against Villa, 8.75, and that was with a clean sheet.
Yeesh.
That's not great.
Yeah, it's not.
I think you might be right, Totti. Unfortunately.
That's what I mean. I love the dude. He was extremely electric in those matches last season that he played, but I just don't think that the upside is there anymore.
Yeah, I mean, if you picked him up, he's an easy drop if he doesn't start against Forest.
Yeah, early game, right? Too.
Yeah, it's a Tuesday game.
Yeah, so there you go.
I don't.
It's not bad.
Yeah, I don't see Trent leaving in January. I just don't.
And
I don't see him being benched either.
Yeah,
that would make it even worse. That would make the speculation even worse.
Benched I could see for a couple games. I could see that. But leaving, I don't think that's going to be. I mean, he's not leaving for 20 million. Like that's almost a slap in the face. There's no reason to do that.
Yeah, I think the logic behind that I read somewhere that there were rumors that it was his people who invited the Real Madrid bid, because now he can say that he didn't want to leave for free at the end of the season.
Yeah.
And it was actually Liverpool who forced him to leave at the end of the season for free. Whereas if they allowed him to move in January, he would have made money for the club, like he always intended to. Whatever.
No,
but I think that's bullshit. I think it's just Real Madrid hubris.
Yeah, that's fair. For those just listening, so let me just kind of go through the names on the screen. We mentioned Ben Doak. James Ward-Prowse is another one. Ben Chilwell, Marcus Rashford, Kieran Dewsbury-Hall, and Connor Bradley are potential stashes over this January transfer window, potentially hoping they get a move somewhere. Yeah, so Ryan, you're only really interested in KDH. Todd, you said potentially Ben Doak. You would add Sanjy. Any of these that trip your trigger?
JWP. That's it.
Yeah. KDH as well for me. I don't think Rashford moves within the Premier League.
Yeah, agreed. What is it, Dortmund or AC Milan?
AC
that's what I've
Milan,
seen.
Juventus, and Dortmund. I think those are the three that I've seen.
If Rashford was dropped, would you add him?
Nah,
No.
Would you waste a roster spot
nah.
on speculatively holding him? I don't think I would either.
I don't think there is a club that can afford him,
Right.
need him.
Right.
Like all the clubs that could afford him don't need him.
No.
And why would they potentially fuck up any like locker room dynamics by bringing him in for half a season?
No.
They're not going to spend 60, 80 million on him. Yeah, I don't think it makes sense. It makes sense if he moves to another country and like change of scenery. He's not the kind of guy who he would be in any of the English clubs.
Fair enough. I like it. All right. Moving on. We're gonna have to go through these kind of quickly, guys, because we did tarry. We dallied a bit when we talked about the transfers, but we've got our risers and fallers, so we can go through these relatively quickly. We don't have to. Yeah. We don't have to take all that long. But we're gonna talk about some guys that we feel like have risen in our ranks, and some guys that have fallen quite considerably in our ranks over the course of, potentially since draft day, but I think most of them, at least from looking at them previously, you guys sort of focused more on like the recent run of form or fixtures, those kind of things. So yeah, let's chat about some of those. Biggest midseason risers. Totti, you've got Gakpo and Dango.
Yeah, both of those didn't start the season as a starter and now are absolutely nailed on, both in fantasy and in real life. Routinely double-digit every week. Just perfect pickups. Obviously, you needed to trade for Gakpo, but you could trade for him quite cheaply after like game week 6 or 7 or whatever.
Right. And you think he is, like, at this point he's nailed? Like, there's no way he's losing that spot? Because it took him a while to gain it.
Yeah, So the interesting thing with Gakpo was that he actually ousted Luis Diaz from the left wing role while Diaz was in the form of his life. And I was thinking, what the fuck is happening? Diaz is scoring in every game. And he's getting benched for this bozo. And then in 2-3 games, I was like, now I get it.
Yeah. Yes.
And now Diaz is option 1 or between option 1 and option 2 for centre forward. Definitely leapfrogged Nunez for the centre forward option. So the actual competition on the left wing is a bit less now that Diaz is a decent option at the central spot. So yeah, I don't think Gakpo is losing his spot anytime soon.
Yeah, that's fair. What about Dango? He's nailed for the foreseeable?
I think so. Especially with all the forwards being injured. So I can see potentially when Tavernier is back, maybe Semenyo moving up front and Dango and Tavernier on the 2 wings. But it would be very harsh on Dango to lose his spot.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. All right. Well, just Newcastle in general has been pretty fire lately, in the form of their lives, you could say. And so I think in line with that, I've got Murphy and Hall. They've just been incredible. Murphy, Old Scruffy's talking about it in chat when we would joke about Murphy and how he was so, goal dependent, return dependent, which he still is. But he's just doing it. He's doing it every single week. And at least for the moment, he's one of your biggest risers. My reason for including him on here, guys, is because of that goal dependence, because of the fact that he doesn't ghost very well. Like, is this one that you're buying into, or are you still having that feeling of like cautious optimism where, you know, he still could get you 2.5 or whatever on any given game week?
I think he's still got that boomer bust feel to him. It's just been a lot of boom. And normally for somebody like that, I'd say sell high, but like he doesn't have the name value,
right,
whereby you could get something for him. So it's enjoy the ride. I mean, you got him for free. Ride it to the wheels fall off.
I love that. Yeah, that's kind of how I feel about it too. And then Lewis Hall, pretty much same thing. I mean, a lot of people have held him for a good chunk of the season, but he had a pretty dry spell, you know, back through October, November. Recently, he's just been lighting it up. I think, you know, he's a defender like 3 probably, but at the same time, he's one of those that you can basically just leave in your lineup at this point. And until you see anything different from Newcastle in general as a team, I think he's pretty much good to just chill in your lineup. Great. All right. Ryan, you've got arguably the form player in the Premier League right now, Alexander Isak, and of course the other form player in the Premier League right now, Dean Housen.
Yes, sir.
Dino.
I'll be quick on Isak because who cares? 9 goals, 2 assists in the last 7 games. I mean, just ridiculous form. I'm playing against him this weekend, so it's everything's
checks
coming
out.
Isak.
Checks out.
Yeah. Housen though is the real raison d'etre for us playing this game. I gotta shout out Totti for his very, very early scouting of this guy.
Yeah, he did. Yes, he did.
Credit where credit's due. Looked great in his very short cameos, and then Senesi went down with a long-term injury, and he has not looked back. Any guess as to his PPS the last 7 starts?
Like 15, 16?
16.2.
That is insane.
I saw that his ghost point form was 11 or something like that.
Yeah. His absolute floor is 7. I mean, he's only gotten 7 twice in that stretch since he's been nailed on. I mean, it's like
when
crazy.
He doesn't get
he's
a
goal
clean
threat
sheet, he
as
scores
well.
a goal. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And he should have this past game week as well.
Exactly.
And that would have been like the monster of all monsters. He passes the eye test too. He's great on set pieces. He can dribble. I mean, the dude's a
good-looking lad.
Star. Yeah,
He's so
Chill
assured.
guy.
He's so assured on the ball. Like he's
nonchalant.
He's not like if I was to look at my own club and check and compare him to
don't say it
to Kwanzaa.
Okay,
he's
fair enough.
He's doing the same age, similar situation.
Yeah.
They've come in with competition in a Premier League team, and the difference between when I see Housen on the ball, I'm like, people should around him, his teammates are safe.
Absolutely.
When he has the ball, and I think that's like the number 1 or number 2 trait when you're playing such a system with a center defender who can play the ball, who is comfortable on the ball, and a very good defender as well.
Yeah, he says he's Spanish. He doesn't look like it, and I didn't buy it until I actually saw him on the ball, and I was like, yeah, he might actually be Spanish.
Yeah.
Wait, no, that's a joke, right?
No, he's Spanish.
Declared as Spanish, yeah.
He's Spanish?
Dean Housen? Yeah, of course he is.
Of course.
I did not know that.
It's the
That's
John
incredible.
Smith of Spanish names.
Do you remember, Totti, when I first mentioned him in Ghost Point Hunters very early on in the season, and I think I called him Dutch, and somebody said no, he's Spanish, and I was like, what?
This is
And
insane.
yeah,
No, I think it was it you? I think it was me on waivers or something like that. One of us.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
And we had
somebody
a
came off
comment.
the Totti, yo.
Yeah. We had a comment from one of our readers saying that Senesi isn't Italian and
Oh, he's
Housen
Argentine or
isn't
whatever.
Dutch.
Yeah.
And yeah.
That's wild. Wow. Yeah, Hausen, that classic Spanish last name.
And Dean.
Yeah, Dean.
I think
Good old Dean.
Jose is number one, Dean close second.
Dean. Yep, Dean. Now that makes sense why they put the O on the end of it. Dino. Yeah. Is that racist? I'm sorry. I don't mean to. Anyway. No, it's very like McAllister. It's very like wait, how the hell are you that good at football, A, and B, Argentinian? Wow, that's wild, man. I did not know that. Yeah, Totti, I feel you, man. It seems like a lot of these teams are stumbling onto really good center backs, and I'm just wondering why the hell we can't have gotten one of those. But hey, is what it is. All right, Sanjy, you got Morgan Gibbs-White, who has had a renaissance since I traded him away on both of my teams. And then, of course, one Enzo Fernandez, who is, man, just lights out the last, 2 months or something.
Yeah. So I think Gibbs White in his first 9 games of the season was averaging just over 7.
Yeah.
And then since then averaging 15.5. Like, yeah, I mean, Forest in general are just absolutely clicking at the moment, man. And now he's like a big part of the attack, and yeah, it kind of sucks. Like, I don't know, which game week did you trade him out at, Joe? Do you remember?
I don't exactly, but it would have been somewhere around, the 5.5 against West Ham, 2 against Newcastle. So like November, like late October, early November, somewhere in there.
Yeah. I traded him out, I think, around game week 11. To be fair, I got him for Kudus. I thought I had an absolute steal, and then Lopetegui did Lopetegui things. But I'm a bit hopeful still. We'll see how things go. But yeah, like you said as well, Enzo's also found like a new role in the system and the way we're playing and etc. And yeah, he doesn't need to get attack returns to score double-digit points. It's fantastic, honestly. And
what do you make of that goose egg? Sorry to interrupt, but that last game is a goose egg. It seemed very much an aberration, but I didn't watch the game, so.
Nicholas Jackson got a goose egg in that game as well. It was just a bad game from us overall, to be honest. Also, I think that a bit of credit goes to Ipswich as well. They've kind of tightened up things at the back a bit. They've gone into this back 5 system as well. Liam Delap looks such a great player. So I don't think it's just us shitting the bed. I think we do need to give credit to Ipswich. They're starting to look like a team that could possibly survive the drop.
Oh, man. That would be interesting.
Right now, I can see 3 teams that are worse than them.
Yeah.
What happens with Enzo if Lavia is back?
I mean, I think nothing.
Yeah.
At this point, I think he's made his case.
So I mean, Lavia doesn't because Enzo lost his place to Lavia early in the season, or he didn't get his place because it was Caicedo and Lavia next to each other. You think
that's true? And Chelsea have been in a pretty rough run of form.
Yeah, but the thing is
only
that
very recently.
Yeah. And Caicedo becomes the right back in that system, right? I think it's one of the defenders that kind of suffers if Lavia is coming back in. Enzo's captain, I still think he's gonna be a big part of what Chelsea are doing moving forward, especially in the attack. So I wouldn't be too scared about that, to be honest.
Okay.
Oops, sorry, hold on. Nope, sorry.
3 times the charm.
QC Kit, of these 8 guys, who do you want the most?
Isak, hands on, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. But you have to give up. I don't think you can get a deal done for Isak that doesn't involve like Palmer or Salah or something like that.
Yeah, totally.
Or Holland.
I would do
I
Holland
would-
for him in a heartbeat.
I would prefer. I don't think you can get Isak for Haaland right now.
I'd prefer Isak every day of the week. But
Even on Tuesdays.
yeah, even on Tuesdays.
Nice.
Yeah. I mean, Gakpo's up there, but he's certainly not even close to Isak in my of this list ranking.
I think an honorable mention for the risers is McAllister.
Yeah, and the poster boy for this Risers and Fallers section
Yes.
is Soboslai.
He's
Yeah,
been
I mean,
ill.
he's done
been
both.
ill. Yeah, he has been a faller and then a phoenix from the flames.
There you go.
At some point he was droppable, and then from the 1st of December with a 9-pointer against City, he's been lights out ever since. And you can see him being more involved as well.
Soboslai or
Yeah,
McAllister?
Soboslai. McAllister as well, but Soboslai I was talking about.
So Soboslai, and you can see Liverpool actively missing him in these last 2 matches.
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, needing him. So yeah, I like him. McAllister, yeah, I think he's more prone to having a lot of those kind of meh games where maybe he'll just do a little bit more defensive work or not be quite as involved. I'd
rather trade out McAllister on a high than Sobo.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. I like that. Nice. All right, let's quick run through our fallers, guys. Totti, you've got a couple. Well, speaking of Liverpool players, you've got Robertson, and then one Alejandro Garnacho who doesn't start anymore.
Yeah, I think Robertson has been a faller all season. He's in a situation where he definitely is droppable if you're looking at his numbers only, and he is untradeable because even if someone's interested, when he checks out the numbers, they'll be scared away. So just bite the bullet and drop him. And Garnacho has been dropped in 2 of my leagues.
That's
rightly
crazy.
So. Is it though?
Wow.
He hasn't. I don't think he started the game under Amorim, has he?
No.
So where is he going to start?
But the thing for me is like I don't think Amram still knows what his best 11, best attack, and all that sort of jazz is. Like I've seen fans talk about maybe he should or could be deployed as a wing back, but I don't think Amram trusts his defensive traits.
But
no.
Are they gonna line up with Ahmad and Garnacho as the 2 wing backs? And
it would be exciting.
Maguire, one of the defenders. Like I don't think if Ahmad didn't start this well, I would have seen a way for him to get into the team.
Yeah,
because then he would still kind of do some rotations and check. It's just like you said, check out what his best 11 is. But wingback is the only spot that is pretty much decided, isn't it?
Well, there's talk of him wanting to leave in January. Garnacho.
I would.
Yeah.
And at this point, they can still get decent money for him.
Yeah.
He's homegrown, right? Isn't he?
Yeah.
I think he is.
Yes. Yeah, he's pure profit.
Yeah.
Man.
And as much as we don't like his looks or his attitude, he's a very talented player.
Yeah, totally.
So for a team that uses wingers and likes his skill set, then he's a win-win.
Well, but what do you make of? I mean, from a fantasy standpoint, he has plenty of games where he does absolutely nothing.
That happens with wingers. I think I would be okay. Like if I'm not, I don't think he moves in the Premier League. But if I was looking at like Premier League wingers or teams that need wingers, like I could see him at Spurs and doing well at Spurs. I could see him at Villa. Teams that use wingers, I think he'd be decent anywhere.
Well, speaking of mercurial wingers, this is my time, Ryan.
Oh, you took my my post note on there.
I took, yeah, I did take it off. Ryan, when I said Martinelli, Ryan wrote shocker. Yeah, I mean, my disapproval for Martinelli this season has been well documented. It's partly
Especially
because
in the group chat.
It's partly because Sanjy, this is the player that I traded in for MGW when I traded him out.
But I saw you trade him out for a really good steal in another league. Was it like Munoz and someone else? I think.
No, that was Tarkowski.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was, yeah. Anyway, Martinelli, I don't know, man. Ryan, I really don't know what to make of this one. He's just games where he starts and does absolutely nothing, and then just long runs of not starting at all. Like I'm really, you know how frustrated I am with him. I came into the season thinking, like, after last season that I would never roster him again, bought into the hype, and at that point Gibbs White was just so shitty that I was like, fine, give him to me, and have just really been suffering, my friend.
Dude, I can't fault you for that trade. I mean, it's hard to fathom and recollect now how bad MGW was at that time.
Yeah.
So he turned it around, but I totally get it at the time. Mercurial is very well put. You just don't know what you're going to get from him. There's not going to be any long runs of him not starting, given that Saka's out and the options are pretty thin. So at least you have that. But he's been very boom or bust. But hope springs eternal, because I love the guy, but hit the post midweek and
saw that
breakaway 1-on-1. It was like, oh god, very much a confidence player, and doesn't have much of it at all
at the moment. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, he's a faller. I'm obviously not dropping him or anything. Like, he's not a Garnacho. He's not anything like that. I mean, he's obviously a player that you're gonna hold, you're gonna root for. There is a chance that if he has a decent run of form, I'll try to trade him out. But
fair.
Yeah, but I mean, aside from that, obviously, he's the guy you hold. This guy though, Yuri Tielemans, started the season off real hot. Was scoring mostly 10 plus a week, definitely averaging that, and was involved in a lot of the build up play, even set pieces for Villa. And I don't know if you guys have clocked this, he has fallen off completely.
I almost put him in as well myself.
I shouted that out in the group chat a few weeks ago. Just quietly falling off a cliff.
And that's the funny thing, you say that very quietly, because it goes from 11 against Brentford, and then a couple of games of 6, and then a 5, and then a 2.5, 3.75, 4.5. So it's literally like a slope, like a downward slope, that he's just been getting shittier. And I'm just wondering if he's less involved in the build-up play, if he's less involved in set pieces, if he's I don't watch that much Villa to really know, exactly what his role is, but has it changed?
I watched the last game and he was still on sets, so I don't know if it's just they haven't been
Villa
as
have
accurate
been bad as well. Villa have been bad.
Some of them have been eaten. I mean, last couple games have been scoring goals at least.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they're not struggling for goals except for the one against Newcastle. Although, yeah, I guess you're kind of right, Toddy. Like they didn't score anything against Chelsea. They had one against Southampton, one against Forest. But away at Forest, that's like most teams are lucky to score one there these days. Yeah. Anyway, I just think it's interesting. I don't think you're dropping him yet, but he's certainly one that has gone from a decent, midfielder 3, maybe even borderline 2, and now you're probably nervous to start him.
Yeah. But you still can't drop him, though.
Yeah.
But you should.
but you should. All right, Ryan, a player you just traded in a couple of weeks ago.
Yes, there's absolutely zero correlation to them being a follower, other than the exact correlation. Traded.
To be fair,
traded
they've been bad before.
Yeah, I was desperate to kind of dovetailing with the conversation we're having in Discord about Rodgers. I was desperate, as all these guys know. This was like my Martinelli.
Yep.
Desperate to offload Rodgers because he's just completely unpredictable. And so when Madison wasn't starting, the first of his many non-starts, I cheekily offered Rodgers, Adama, and Gusto Gang when he was still starting for Madison because I had the game week already sewn up and I wanted a high upside midfielder that I thought was actually going to start games, but turns out he doesn't. And hasn't started a game since his last 3 games, 0 starts, and I think it's 0-1 and -2.
Yep.
In those cameos.
0-1, -2.
Not even doing bits off the bench.
No.
Still has a great, PPG on paper. So I think the play is probably just to wait for a decent game, hopefully soon, and trade him out on name recognition. But yeah, he's been pretty bad of late, and there's been
So that would sort of hint that you don't have a ton of hope for him to turn this around.
I mean, I do, especially we talked about the run of fixtures. So like, hope springs eternal. We know what he can do. It's the disciplinary stuff that kind of turns you off a bit. I mean, declared sick and then showing up at the darts, telling fans to fuck off, which I actually like.
And now,
yeah.
The only saving grace would be that now we don't know what's happened to Bentancur, who was mistimed the header today, and
it looked like he had a stroke. I mean,
it was
awful. Looked like neurological.
Yeah,
scary.
Very scary.
Jumped straight into the ground.
No.
And the jaw movement, I saw the playback.
yeah.
God, it looked awful.
So
yeah, hope he's all right.
I don't think he's coming back anytime soon. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. So again, maybe a bit of saving grace for Madison. And
his benchings have coincided with Spursy form. So
I don't think I'm
feeling him yet. I mean, he was his signature signing.
Yeah, true. I mean, I suppose.
I mean, I think he was more than Solanke. Biggest signing he's made.
Wow.
Let's not kid ourselves by saying that Ange is making any signings at Spurs. It's Levy that's making the signings.
Very true.
Cooking with the ingredients that Levy brings him.
Yeah, fair enough. But yeah, we'll see. I mean, I'm going to give him this after Arsenal, this nice stretch of games. And as you said, with the injuries and the bad form, you'd hope that he would start to get in a rhythm. But yeah, it's he's fallen off a cliff. And I think he went, mostly second round in most leagues?
Yeah. If not late first in some.
Yeah, he's dining off those like 3 or 4 games where he went nuts. The rest.
I think what you're hoping for is whatever happens in the Arsenal game, it's probably a write-off. But then you mentioned earlier in the pod, Everton, Leicester City, away at Brentford, who will score goals, but they also let some in.
Yep.
Maybe in the course of those 3 matches, you can have him accumulate some points and then get him out.
Yeah. Yeah, because, I mean, the name recognition's always going to be there.
Yeah.
So
That's fair.
yeah, as opposed to Jacob Murphy, like, there's still cachet.
Yeah.
Yeah, my other
And then you
entry
have
was- yeah. Go
And then
ahead.
you have just most Man City assets.
I was gonna try and pick one, but it's the lot. I mean, let's think about it. Other than Savio and potentially Gavardiol, potentially every other Man City asset has been terrible value for where they were drafted.
Oh yeah.
KDB first round, Foden first round, Doku third round, Bernardo Silva meh, Holland
The
top 3.
the only argument we can make is that Foden is probably a riser.
Yes, but still, the 7th pick.
Would you? I've Foden in 2 leagues, and I've been entertaining the idea of trying to capitalize on this mini rise.
Yep.
And sell him as a first round asset and try to trade him out.
No dice.
But the best offer I could think of is the one that I dealt to get him in, which the guy rejected steadfastly, which was Iwobi and Damsgaard for Foden.
What?
I don't
Wait,
think-
you tried
Oh,
to
man.
get Iwobi and Damsgaard back?
Yes.
Oh wow.
I like it actually.
I mean, neither of them seem to be dropping off.
I'm completely with you, Totti. I had Foden as well, and you know that I should not roster Manchester City assets, and
Yes.
was very frustrated. So I traded him and Ricardo Calafiori out for the number 5 overall point scorer on this season,
Good lad.
Mateus
Who's that?
Cunha.
Cunha?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I do feel a little bit like maybe I overpaid, but I'm okay with it.
I don't think so.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Unless he somehow goes to Arsenal.
Right.
Sheffield.
Please no.
But I
Yeah,
think
no,
he's signed a
that's
new
it.
contract or has been rumored to have signed.
It's waiting for his signature, so that's what makes me nervous.
Yeah, you'd like to think that best case scenario inserts a decent release clause and just wants to
Yeah,
get
yeah.
paid. For
Right,
the rest of the
exactly.
season, and then he'll reassess in the summer. I think that's what will ultimately happen.
Yeah.
Again, these
Knock on wood.
big January window signings never happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Summer is
The
always
only one that was, I think, the 2 that were decent for fantasy were Bruno and Aubameyang.
Yep.
I don't remember any other ones that were worth the wait.
the original Tielemans to Leicester
Ah, yes.
was nasty, but that wasn't highly touted. Big name at the time, but panned out.
And then you may remember Omar Marmoush to Manchester City.
Yes.
That's the one. The archetype January
Right.
signing.
Yeah, I mean those are once every lunar eclipse.
But no, yeah, I mean, you're right, Ryan. I completely agree. And the hard part is, like, are
Still
you
time for some of them to I mean
sure?
you got to think that Foden is coming back and Haaland will be fine.
Some of them you're trading on a low if you're trading them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think you want to trade any of them, honestly, at this point.
Savio is the real jewel.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which,
And he's still underperforming his expected fantasy points somehow.
Yeah, he should be doing a lot better in the attacking return department, but that's started to pick up a bit. But
are
he
you
can get us out of his
referring
mind.
to Fantrax projections? Because so is the entire league.
No.
I told you that I've been projected to lose every week in my main league, which turned out to be like my best team, and I'm like 15-5 in that league. I'm projected
that's
to win this week, first time all season, and I know I'm going to lose.
Oh yeah, was JWP to West Ham? Was that January?
I don't think so.
No, that was a late summer window.
Okay, yeah, a good question though, Zach. I like that. All
My
right,
favorite was oh god, what is his name? Because this was when early days when I was playing, and I had the genius idea. I think like we all do when we first start.
you always talk about this guy,
saving
the
up
Swansea
all
guy.
Of my, yeah. God, what the fuck is his name?
What the hell's his name?
It's gonna bother
Michu?
me. No.
No.
Renato.
Oh, but Totti,
Um,
what a great reference. Michu. That's a draft legend. We always forget about him. We got to include him more in the conversation. Michu, man. What a legend.
Renato Sanchez.
Yep, that's him. That's him.
Yep.
Yep.
Hoarding all of your fab for big January signings. Realize none of them happen, and then you're forced to spend £100 or 100 fab on Renato Sanchez for Swansea.
Didn't he pass
Never
the
again.
ball to the advertising board one game?
Yeah.
That's the only thing I remember about him. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a rage drop.
I just remember him ambling about, just doing nothing on the pitch. Absolutely nothing.
And then he went on to play for Paris Saint-Germain
And
Right.
Bayern Munich.
and Bayern Munich.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
So yeah.
There's been a lot of those players. I've been thinking recently about the evolution of Ademola Lookman.
Oh yeah,
Crazy.
Right? Like, there's been a lot of players like that where it's just like, kind of written off by one team and then go on to, like, if you were to try to get them back now, you would pay 100 plus. Like,
Yeah, they're talking about Lookman as an $80 million transfer this summer, and I was like,
right.
what? He could have got him for free from Fulham after that missed penalty. My God.
Exactly.
Yeah.
exactly.
And Everton, right? He
And
came up
Everton
in
as well.
Everton. Yeah.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Man.
Had he failed at Leicester?
Oh,
Leicester
what
failed him.
what an adventure for him.
Yeah, good for him.
It's good
though,
to see him
going abroad.
succeed, honestly.
Yeah,
I like
yeah,
him.
happy with him.
I want to
like
hear
him as a player.
Sanjy. I want to hear Sanjy's Odegaard take.
Yeah, Sanjy, tell us about yours. You have Buonanotte and Odegaard.
Yeah, I nervously put in Odegaard because Ryan was going to be on the pod, and I know it would have come with a bit of backlash. I mean,
I would love to
we've
talk about this.
we've chatted about this off air as well, right? I don't think this is going to be a long-term thing. Obviously, he's kind of gone through his own struggles with like the injury. He was away for like 2 months, and then coming back after that, he was sick. Had the birth of his kid, was it or twins
Yeah.
or something? So, and the thing is, listen, I think the biggest thing as well is he's missing his best friend, his partner in crime, Bukayo Saka. I think
Yeah.
that's the biggest reason for his drop off in his numbers. The thing is, a lot of managers are really kind of getting frustrated about what he's providing in terms of Fantrax points. And listen, he's still easy on the eye. I still think he does a job for Arsenal and whatnot. It's just not translating into points. And the thing is, I think with him, you need to be a bit patient because he still has set pieces. He has the penalty duty with Bukayo out as well. But yeah, I mean, there has been a significant drop off in terms of points, and compared to like the draft day value that the round that you drafted him or the position that you drafted him and stuff like that. Yeah, I just wanted to put it out there, and I was wondering, like, I guess question really is to Ryan, like, if a manager owns him, is frustrated and wants to trade him out, what do you think you'd be taking for him?
That's a really good question, and I think your analysis was pretty spot on. It's funny you mentioned this because I did a trade advice response a couple weeks ago, and somebody was talking about I was offered
Remember this?
I was offered Dango and somebody else for Erdegaard, and he's like, I should do it, and I was like, absolutely not. And the last like 3 to 4 weeks, I'm like, God, that guy must think that I'm an idiot.
And didn't he even respond and be like, are you sure?
Yeah, and then you just get frustrated. You're like, do whatever you want. It's your team.
Yeah.
I told someone to drop Ahmad before Amorim came in.
Ooh.
Yeah.
They didn't do it. Unfortunately, they didn't do it.
Yeah. No, I still think long term. I mean, Odegaard's going to outscore Dango. I hope to God. But yeah, I definitely sense the frustration. Yeah, I mean the set pieces thing. Nwaneri took the right-sided corners.
Yeah.
Against Brighton, which was not great to see. And then Rice has been taking most of the others. Odegaard's just been getting direct free kicks when it's like somewhat close to the goal. And we haven't gotten a penalty since Saka's been out. So you would think that the previous pecking order of him getting penalties would still be in place, but God knows, given confidence, and he's just looked pale of himself. So I think it'll turn around because he's such a good player. But yeah, without the 1-2s with Saka on that right side that he thrives off of, he just doesn't look great. And the player that scored 15 goals a couple seasons ago, I mean, he's not even there. He's not even taking shots. Like that's the most frustrating thing with him is he has a wand of a left foot that he can score goals with, but he's always looking to pass, and those through balls are just not going through. So hope springs eternal. I'd have to really sit down and think about what I would accept, because you're just getting low ball offers, and I think he's going to get better. So my advice would be to hold.
I offered Saka for him.
Ooh.
Well,
Yeah, that's a tricky one. Yeah, I think I'd still have Odegaard. He's still going to be playing in the next couple of months, but
Right.
yeah, I think I'd hold. But yeah, there's no doubt about it. He's been a faller for sure.
What about Damsgaard?
I would rather Damsgaard.
Ooh.
Somebody's saying Savio for Odegaard. I would take Savio.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, you actually made that happen, Zach? Oh, congratulations.
Well, it makes it sound like he's still got Odegaard and maybe denied it.
he got offered. Oh, okay. I see that now. Damn. Yeah, take that.
If it's
Unless you declined it. Take it.
Yeah. But the other player that I had listed as the follow was Buonanotte. And this has basically been Steve Cooper before and after effect. Yeah. While he was playing under Steve Cooper, lights out, man. It was like double digits for what, like 6 to 8 games or something like that in a row. And then after Cooper got the sack, it's just been non-starts. The game that he started, he only got 6 points. I think was the highest score since the Cooper sacking. What a
6.5.
drop off.
Yeah.
The game versus might have been West Ham.
West Ham.
Yeah, I could pull one out for managers that would have held on to him. Like I saw somebody dropped him in one of our leagues, and somebody spent like 31 fab on Buonanotte, and I was just like, oh my god, that's gotta hurt so badly right now.
Yes.
Well, I mean, because the way that you're presenting this, Sanjy, is that it's basically a lost cause now. It sounds like that. I mean, with the managerial switch, there's no
Yeah. It sucks. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It really sucks.
It does. Yeah, it's a bummer. He was one of those you thought you found a diamond in the rough, and then the manager gets.
He would have been he would have been a riser if Cooper would have stayed and he kept that form.
Absolutely. Yeah. All right. Well, there are your mid-season fallers, boys. At the risk of doing a record long episode, we got to do like the 30-second version of Game Week 21 streamers and get people out of here and get them to bed. So, Totti, hit us with your streamers.
Stanya, JPVH, and Rooter.
Solid.
I love it.
Just Castagna, Fulham have a very good schedule coming up, and it's the main reason why I have not been able to drop Adama, because of that schedule upcoming. I think it has West Ham, it has Leicester, it has Everton. It's the whole shebang.
Yeah.
So Castagne has taken Tete's spot and has been playing well, scoring well, besides the last game. So trust in him. JPVH has somehow found a way to ghost, which hasn't been his forte before.
Right.
So Ipswich, decent matchup. And Ruther should hopefully come in. He's projected to start in most projections. So hopefully he does the business and rolls back the time to when they actually were good.
Wow, Reuter is only at 31% rostered.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got dropped
started in
everywhere.
a long time.
Wow. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
that's wild. I mean, there was a brief period there where I thought he was going to be a rest of season asset,
Yeah.
but yeah, interesting.
Alas.
Have you guys added a Dingra anywhere?
In and
No,
out. I think
I think Mitoma comes back in.
Okay. I just thought, yeah, he had a couple starts and he's out on a lot of waiver wires. Is that one that
Oh.
maybe you would just speculatively add?
I was laughed at when I dropped Gruda after the 16-pointer. And the game he played previously and the following game he played, he scored, I think, 2, maybe 1,
It's
something
two.
like that.
I know it well.
I mean, I feel like with those Brighton boys, it's one of those like lineup calls. Like if you're the first person to the free agency pool, then in it on the fixture play. The only person I think from that attack that is worth or you can only hold is JP. Like
And Mitoma.
everyone else, yeah, and Matoma. But everyone else just feels like I drop if I need to win my game week. Sort of
Exactly.
situation.
And I think the poster child for that is Ayari, who routinely gives you 7 to 9 points.
Yeah.
But you're not going to hold him because he'll be there every week.
He doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't start enough either.
And he has no upside, like literally 0 upside. But he'll bring you 9 points. And sometimes that's all you
that's
need
it.
from
Yeah.
midfield.
Right. Gary's comment, was O'Reilly overhyped?
Understatement of the century.
Yes, we've been saying that all along. Yep. But I will remind everybody, I also thought Diogo Dalot was going to be incredible under Amorim. Which actually now, maybe I was right.
I mean,
If you could play Trent every week.
If they get enough centre backs in, he should go back to playing wing back, and he should.
That's
be
fair. Yeah.
Lights out.
I only say that because we obviously don't get everything right. But yes, we've been saying for a long time that O'Reilly is overhyped. Anyway, all right, Sanjy, Game Week 21 streamers.
So first is Brooks versus Chelsea. So because of the double injury that Bournemouth had up front, maybe Semenyo plays up top. That opens up a spot for Brooks in midfield. And if you're like me in one of my leagues, badly need a midfield punt, I kind of like him for the next couple of game weeks. Fixtures are fairly decent for them, I think, after the Chelsea Newcastle away games. Well, actually not. I think
No.
four tough games and then it gets easy. But I mean, still, it's just a midfield option. Next, Maguire versus Southampton. Yeah, Southampton are just shit. I think you basically pick up anyone playing Southampton. And Maguire has upside threat as well on set pieces and stuff like that. Somerville versus Fulham.
You like Maguire
Lopetegui's
against
out.
Onuachu as well.
Yeah.
You should have
Got
a
it.
decent amount of aerials.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Bunch of duels.
Yeah. Somerville versus Fulham. He scored the 11.5 versus City.
Yeah.
I mean,
That was
maybe
nice.
all the boys are gonna be unshackled. Finally show their true potential. Play happy-go-lucky football. Score some points.
Yes.
So
Let's
Finally.
go.
Yeah.
Please.
And
Yeah,
then,
and only 28% rostered.
yeah, it's crazy. And then finally, Botman returns versus Fulham. Sorry, versus Wolves. So I think he got his first start. Was it last game week? Scored
Yep.
some good ghost points. 8 points,
Which
or
he
something
doesn't
like that.
normally do, but he was against me last week, so that would make sense.
Yeah. So I mean, are you facing him this game week, Ryan?
No. Oh, Ryan.
I don't think so.
No. Okay.
So,
Check.
warning.
Right.
Yeah, I might
Yeah.
revert,
Maybe-
revert to type.
But I mean, Wolves are terrible as well, right?
Especially if
obviously,
Got
like-
Cunha back.
Yeah.
Is he,
Let's go,
is
baby.
he not injured anymore?
He was never
he's,
injured.
He's fine. He had a little bit of a knock, but the suspension, I think he's fine.
Oh, yeah. He went off early that one game or whatever. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, against Spurs.
But yeah, he's at almost 2 weeks at this point, so he should be fine.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
but,
against Colwell though.
Oh.
What did
Okay.
he say?
Duly noted.
Hmm.
But yeah. Those are the 4 picks. Yeah. that's it.
Beautiful. Love it. All right, Ryan. Round us out.
Raw Sparkley came back into the fold
Raw,
last week.
sparkly.
Got a tasty goal and an 18-pointer, which was nice. Back in his old stomping grounds at Everton, should have a point to prove. With McGinn out, he should still, and his form the last game should keep a place in the lineup. It's a bit tricky because it's a late Wednesday game, but there still should be enough cover for you to survive benching. But I still think he goes.
Would you rather play him or Bailey?
Barkley,
yeah.
for me. And by the way, they're saying McGinn several weeks. So it's going to be probably February by the time he's back.
Yeah, I thought Barkley was going to be a one game week play, but I've held in the leagues I have him, so I think ride it till the wheels fall off kind of thing. Greaves has shown that he can ghost all season. Him and Burgess before him. They have stolen some of the thunder from old Dara, so they seem to be the alphas in the defense. So if nothing else, late game cover, because they're the last game, I think, on Thursday versus Brighton. So I like holding him, starting him if you need to. Roll the dice with the Canoe. He's passed the eye
gutsy
test
call.
last couple weeks. Has been pretty unlucky. You got to like Palace at home. Decent fixture. If he was going to, have a mini renaissance, it would be this one. Plus the midfield pool is pretty dry, so I like punting on the Canoe if you need a midfield fix. And then Kilman was doing his best wannabe Howson impression for a few weeks, and then the last two have been pretty bad, but they've also in his defense faced Liverpool and City, so back to kinder fixtures with Fulham at home. Can't remember really what the defenders are like under Potter, but he's shown enough ghost point bona fides for you to trust him as a defender 3. So I don't mind picking him back up.
Yeah, I like that. I think
That's
I got
your
him a couple places. Cool, love it. All right, we better shut it down because we're gonna end this before the 2-hour mark, which means we have 40 seconds. Everyone, you're incredible. Listeners, thank you all so much. Live stream has been a blast. Ryan, Sanjy, Totti, thank you all. Especially those of you who had to stay up late with us. You guys are the best. You're amazing. Draft community, we love you. Good luck to everybody. Remember, no games this weekend, but coming up next week. Talk to everyone soon. Cheers.